Now everyday activities. 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 Soon on everything I know you to say. You and your friends, who got everything, everything. But our everyday activities. Sometimes I get this one, eternal to be positive. Come to my house, you need and you drink. Go to my neighborhood, you got to live for me. What did they say? And they cannot need to do. And like the everyday activity that what we do. So no despise the better we can get you what we not keep class. Nobody can do that. Go. I'm on everyday activity, don't want you to go. Get on the floor, tell them what we do. Everyday activity, something that we produce. Chill all day, make sure don't go to jail. But let the money spend, yeah, let them lose their play. Soon on tape, when chicken say, go, it's all classic.
There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, you will report it. Don't take law in your hands for the real authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must talk it, I mean you cheche. You wait for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante side justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia.
Rabbi, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Flu Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Easy, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so going deep and deeper. Put it to each game.
When chicken say, Bogoli Oko, is a gossip. Say, Bogoli Oko, is a faucet.
Oh yes, folks. Good morning, and welcome to 2026. 7 days in this brand new year, and it's good to be back on your radio after the holiday, after all of the vacation. It's good to be back to do our job, and I'm so grateful that the Lord has crossed us over into 2026, and we are into the 7th day in the year 2026. It's good to be here this morning. My name is Wendell Nimna, and let me say Happy New Year, happy prosperous 2026 to all of you following us online, and we want to welcome you to this edition of the program from the Print News. I'm your lone presenter, Esther Daku is not in today. I'm quite sure this is the very first edition of the year 2026 from the Print News. And I'm going to be your lone presenter here this morning. So again, I want to welcome all of you, those of you tuning in for the very first time. We want to welcome you to the Print News. This is where we converge to bring you trending stories in the print media. And I'm here after several days on vacation. I'm back on the airwaves. Wendell is the name, and I'm going to be with you until 12:30 this afternoon. In our studio this morning, we have 2 local dailies, the Daily Observer and the Front Page Africa. We have the hard copies in our studio this morning. And so we're going to be running you those stories from the front and back pages. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Those of you across Liberia watching us, please drop your comment. Don't just like the post. Always, it's good to always comment. If you're watching us, please drop your comment. Let us know where you are watching us from and how where you are receiving us. So if you are in Asia, you are in Europe, you are somewhere in the Caribbean, somewhere in Africa and watching us this morning, just drop your comment on our Facebook or YouTube live. So, folks, let me welcome a couple of friends visiting Liberia. I want to welcome you to Liberia, Cesar Brople. Welcome back to your country. I hope you are enjoying your vacation. And all of my friends visiting Liberia, want to welcome all of you back to your country. Hope your vacation is going good wherever you are and having a quality vacation. So this morning, like I said, in our studio, we have two local dailies, the Daily Observer newspaper and the Front Page Africa newspaper. Let me say Happy New Year to my people again. I miss you all, and it's good to be back here this morning. So let's run you through the stories we have to share with you from the dailies. We will begin with the Front Page Africa newspaper, Wednesday, January 7, 2026, volume 19, number 003. And the price for this paper is 40 Liberian dollars. Let's get to the top stories. First, foreign relations. Enhancing the nation's global profile. Minister Beslo Nyanti unveils Liberia's 2026 foreign policy drive as it takes UN Security Council seat. And governance issues. The people have not received their fair share. Who is saying this? Clergyman Cotto Brown rates Bwaka Kun administration at 70%, cites poverty and reconciliation challenges. And lastly, for top stories, you do not represent us. Though penal fuel explode as Mamin Doe accuses Grand Jide Senator of prosecution, land grabs, and abuse of power. So those are the top stories on the Front Page Africa newspaper. Let's bring you more stories here on the front page. It says, as internet use surges, thousands of poor families are being scammed. A new bill will help put police on. They still have few options to stop it. No solutions yet. They create pressure. They tell victims not to tell anyone. People receive links every day. Scholarships, gives away, jobs, offers. Many do not know how to verify them. If you don't have the skills to verify information, there is a likelihood you will fall prey. Tower Johnson head campaigners against misinformation and disinformation. Let's run a few lines for you this morning. And so those of you who are watching, don't forget to drop your comment. Let us know where you are watching from. It's very important for us. So let's take a few lines from that story. Let's see, where is it? Yes. The ink just running through everything here. All right, let's see what we can take a few lines from our very first top story. This one, it says, enhancing the nation's global profile. Minister Beslo Nyanti unveils Liberia's 2026 foreign policy drive as it takes UN Security Council seat. Let's see what that story is all about. Let's take a few lines from there. This story is not too clear, so we will pause on that and get to that story. Okay, so it says the embassy of the Republic of Liberia in the Kingdom of Morocco has announced that Liberia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sarah Nyanti, has outlined a comprehensive and performance-driven diplomatic agenda for 2026. The foreign minister presented the new policy direction during a global virtual briefing with Liberia diplomatic missions across the world. The briefing was hosted from Liberia's diplomatic mission in Rabat, Morocco, and brought together ambassadors, charge d'affaires, and senior foreign service officials to discuss priorities and expectations for the coming year. Minister Beslo Nyanti described 2025 as a defining year in Liberia's diplomatic history, noting that the country's election to the United Nations Security Council has placed it under increased international attention and responsibility. She emphasized that Liberia's presence on the global body must be guided by professionalism, discipline, accountability, and measurable results in the conduct of its foreign policy. According to the minister, the 2026 diplomatic agenda is focused on strengthening institutional capacity within Liberia's foreign service, improving coordination among diplomatic missions, and ensuring that Liberia's foreign policy aligns with national development priorities. She stressed the need for diplomats to serve not only as representatives of the state, but also as promoters of peace, economic cooperation, and Liberia's image abroad. Minister Beslo Nyanti highlighted the importance of strategic engagement and regional organizations, particularly in areas of peace and security, climate change, sustainable development, and economic diplomacy. An opportunity to amplify the voices of smaller and developing nations while contributing constructively to global peace and stability. She also called on Liberia diplomats to demonstrate a high level of professionalism and ethical conduct, stressing that performance evaluation will be based on clear benchmarks and results. The minister said accountability will be central to the implementation of the new agenda, adding that the diplomatic missions are expected to actively support national interests, attract investment, and strengthen bilateral and multilateral relations. During the briefing, the foreign minister underscored the need for effective communication and public diplomacy, urging missions to engage host governments, international organizations, and the Liberian diaspora in meaningful ways. She said clear messaging and timely reporting will be critical as Liberia navigates its responsibilities on the global stage. The Embassy of Liberia in Morocco described the briefing as a critical step in preparing the country's diplomatic corps for the demands of the coming year. Officials noted that the minister's address set a clear tone for Liberia's engagement with the international community as it enters a new phase of global leadership and responsibility. But let's leave it right there and take more stories. Let's get to our next story. This has to do with the assertion made by clergyman Carter Brown. That's a prominent Liberian clergyman, Bishop Carter Brown, has written the Unity Party-led administration of President Joseph Nyuma Bwaka at 70% for its performance over the past year, citing shortcomings in addressing poverty, strengthening national reconciliation, and improving economic conditions. Bishop Brown, a former president of the Liberia Council of Churches, LCC, made the assessment during an interview with reporters on Sunday, January 4, at the New Water in the Desert Apostolic Pentecostal Church in Broville, outside Monrovia. He said why the administration has made public commitments towards reconciliation and economic recovery, concrete actions to be achieved, those goals remain limited. According to the clergyman, national reconciliation has largely remained rhetorical, warning that continued political divisions and personal attacks among public officials could undermine progress if not addressed. Making pronouncements does not help. It has to be concrete actions to pull this country together, Bishop Brown said. There is glaring poverty and economic and accountability concerns. Bishop Brown also questioned the effectiveness of accountability measures under the current administration and arguing that ordinary Liberians have yet to see meaningful benefits from the country. From the country's national resources, he said revenues from mining activities, including gold, iron ore, and diamonds, have not translated into improved living conditions for citizens, leaving many struggling to meet basic needs. The people of Liberia have not received their fair share from the resources being extracted from their land, he said. Acknowledging government's effort, despite his criticisms, Bishop Brown acknowledged what he described as some positive efforts by the government, particularly in addressing infrastructure and basic services. He cited rural rehabilitation and maintenance in Liberia's southeastern counties and improvements in electricity supply to households and businesses as notable gains. According to him, travel between Monrovia and counties such as Grand Gide, Maryland, and River G has become more that's manageable. He also commended the administration for efforts to restore Liberia's image internationally, while urging the government to strengthen economic policies that promote business growth and job creation. We have challenges, but there are areas where efforts have been made, he said. Rising tensions among public officials. Bishop Brown further expressed concern over what he described as growing anger and competition among public officials, attributing it to mistrust and political rivalry. He urged officials to focus on delivering public services toward the 2029 elections. When you work for the public, anger should not be one of the tools you employed, he said. We may not all think the same way, but we must find ways to work together. He noted that while the country ended the year peacefully, more work remains to be done, explaining that this influenced his overall assessment of the administration recommendations. Among his recommendations, Bishop Brown called for accelerated decentralization of governance and improved access to public services across the country. He urged the government to review concession agreements to ensure that communities benefit more directly from natural resource exploitation. He also expressed disappointment that a broad national dialogue on reconciliation has yet to be convened. Liberia is not private property. It belongs to all Liberians, he said. We all feel the pain of hunger, poverty and disease, and we must work together. The clergyman emphasized the need for sound and inclusive economic policy, cautioning against what he termed bigotry in governance and the exclusion of qualified Liberians from decision making processes. He concluded that tackling poverty through sustainable policy, not short term handouts, could become a defining legacy of the Bwaka Kone administration if stronger efforts are applied. Bishop Brown also urged members of the national legislature to prioritize issues that directly affect citizens' welfare rather than focusing on political disputes that offered limited public benefits. And those were the assertions made by clergyman Carter Brown. Let's take our final story here on the front page of the Front Page Africa newspaper. Liberia and Ghana stand almost alone in region as U.S. travel ban hits neighbors. Experts cite acceptance of U.S. deportees and other strategic factors, using Garcia as a bargaining chip. All right? Using Garcia as a bargaining chip is a question mark to this caption. We must not be just fix it or having a relationship with America. You cannot be having a good rapport with America and your Swedish counterparts are closing down on you. Sweden is a very, very strategic partner within the European Union. Who is saying this? Tenent B. Dalia Taungu, former gender officer, Swedish embassy in Liberia. Well, I think those are all the stories we can take this morning from the Front Page Africa newspaper. Let's run to the Daily Observer and take a few stories from there this morning. So before me is the Daily Observer newspaper. It says here, government arrests child street sellers in Monrovia. Save the Future project gets into full swing. And this is the first story here, very interesting. And so we will take a few lines from there. Okay, let's see what the government is all about with street kids that should be in school selling on the street during school hours. Let's see what this story is all about. Let's make our way there. All right, let's, okay, yes, we are there. It says here the Liberian government has moved from policy declaration to direct enforcement of its nationwide ban on child street selling and begging, marking a significant escalation in efforts to confront what officials describe as a deepening child protection and human rights development crisis. On Tuesday, January 6, joint teams from the Monrovia City Police and the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection removed several children between the ages of 12 and 15 from street vending activities across Cinca, Nam Street, Kara Street, and Meglin Street in central Monrovia. The children were selling groundnuts, bananas, cucumbers, pawpaws, and other items. A common sight in Liberia's urban centers, but one the government now says it can no longer tolerate. The operation is the first visible enforcement action under the National Save the Future project, signaling that the ban, which took effect nationwide on December 18, 2025, is now being actively implemented. Government officials say the arrests reflect a deliberate shift from awareness and sensitization to enforcement following years of warnings that street vending exposes children to exploitation, abuse, trafficking, and life-threatening dangers. Children should be in school where they are protected, educated, and nurtured, not on the streets where they are vulnerable and often used as income sources for households. An official involved in the operation said authorities warn that parents and guardians who continue to defy the directive risks arrest, heavy fines, or imprisonment, adding that citizens are encouraged to report cases of child street selling and begging to nearby police stations. The enforcement comes amid what the government has described as a national child protection emergency. According to a 2022 joint survey by the government of Liberia and UNICEF, an estimated 365, that's 366, 585 children nationwide are living in street situations and are vulnerable to exploitation, harmful labor, abuse, and trafficking. Montserrat County alone accounts for 42% of that figure, more than 153,000 children. A full-fledged human development crisis. The gravity of the situation was underscored during the official relaunch of the national campaign on December 16, when key government institutions and development partners convened a joint press conference under the banner of National Save the Future Project. Presiding over the launch, Gender Minister Gbemi Horace Colley described the skill of child street involvement as a full-fledged human development crisis. These children are not just members, Minister Horace Colley said. These are Liberians who would have joined the workforce, provided leadership, and helped define the country's identity in years ahead. Restore their dignity and create pathways for a better life. She emphasized that the government's approach is not solely punitive, but rooted in addressing the structural causes that push children onto the streets. The Support a Child Save the Future project is a 5-year initiative spearheaded by the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection. While the ban on child street vending is its most visible element, officials say it represents only one pillar of a broader social protection strategy. The project provides for compulsory and free education for affected children, economic empowerment, programs for mothers and caregivers, and the construction of drop-in centers and temporary transit homes for children in crisis. Family reunification and long-term social reintegration are also central to the program's design. Between 2024 and 2025, Minister Horace Colley disclosed that the project rehabilitated and reunited 13,591 children with their families during the same period. 3,400 out-of-school children were enrolled in 72 schools, including 23 public and 49 private institutions across Montserrat County. Additional 1,249 caregivers received small business grants ranging from US $200 to US $500, tailored to family size and needs. The project has also extended support to 300 caregivers through technical and vocational education and training TVET programs with tuition and learning materials fully covered by the government. In a notable inclusion effort, 120 visually impaired individuals, many of whom previously relied on children for street-based activities, were organized into skills training clusters in soap making, baking, beer production, and other small enterprises. These groups are expected to receive startup grants under close social worker supervision. Despite these interventions, Government officials acknowledged that a significant number of children continue to drift back onto the streets, highlighting the depth of poverty, social norms, and economic pressure driving the practice. Well, folks, I think we can stop it right there and run you through more stories. Yeah, on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. MPA enters 12 million EU program to boost port safety and security. Another story says ex-foreign minister urges Liberia to be vocal and strategic at the United Nations Security Council. One's country must not sit as a buffoon on the council. Who is saying this? Former foreign minister, we see diplomacy is about balance. He said it is about knowing when to speak, when to consult, and how to protect your national interest. We see the guy right here. Okay. LEC challenges headquarters closure after court temporarily shut down office over US 309K unpaid debt on Tuesday. And to the back page of the Daily Observer newspaper, ex-VP Tiller, Bowie, and Bowie clarifies claims of alleged misuse of $5 million in bong. Conflicting accounts have emerged over allegations that the Bong County District Number 6 representative, Muhammad Briggs Mensah, failed to account for more than $5 million Liberian dollars intended for women's empowerment, an anti-drug initiative, as former Vice President Joel Howard Tiller and Nobel Peace Prize laureate Lyman Bowie separately moved to clarify their roles in the disputed funding. The allegations, which have sparked concerns in Bong County and beyond, were made by William Tillable Thompson, Chief Executive Officer of the Thompson Development Alliance, and a former representative candidate of Bong County District Number 6. During a recent interview with Front Page Africa, Mr. Thompson accused the lawmaker of failing to account for funds allegedly provided in 2023 to support women-focused livelihood programs and youth-oriented anti-drug campaign, particularly in Bong District Number 6. When contacted via WhatsApp to seek clarity on the claims, former Vice President Tiller confirmed that her office provided $3 million to Representative Mensah for a women's empowerment program in Salada District. She said the money was used for its intended purpose, supporting women who had undergone vocational training. My office presented an amount of $3 million Liberian dollars to Honorable Mensah for her women's empowerment program. Former VP Tiller said, adding that the funds were applied as agreed to empower trained beneficiaries. Her statement appears to directly contradict Mr. Thompson's claim that there had been no public explanation or visible outcome associated with the alleged donation. According to him, the funds were meant to finance small business development, skills training, and other income-generating activities for women, but he said there was no formal report, community engagement, or clear impact to show how the money was used. These resources were meant to address real problems facing our women and youth, Mr. Thompson said, but up to now, there has been no report, no community engagement, or no visible impact of these donations. In a separate clarification, Lyman Bowie, the Liberian peace activist, social worker, and women's rights advocate, rejected claims that her foundation had already disbursed funds to Representative Mensah's office. In a WhatsApp message, Madam Bowie said No money has yet been given to the lawmaker, stressing that her organization is still conducting due diligence. Our foundation intends to conclude the process by mid January and then determine how the funds will be disbursed, she said. As an NGO, we cannot give the funds directly to a political office. We are reviewing reputable organizations to see who we can trust to manage the funds. Mr. Thompson had alleged that Representative Mensah also pocketed funds reportedly donated by the Bowie Peace Foundation for anti-drug campaign targeting young people in District Number 6, claiming the initiative never materialized. He has since called on Liberia's integrity institutions to investigate, arguing that public officials entrusted with development resources must be held to account. The controversy comes amid heightened national scrutiny over how lawmakers manage constituency related donations and development funds in Bond County. Civil society actors and community members have increasingly demanded greater transparency and clear reporting on money allocated for social and community development projects, particularly those involving vulnerable groups. Mr. Thompson has framed his allegations as part of a broader accountability push, saying integrity institutions should determine whether funds were properly managed or misused. For her part, Representative Mensah has categorically rejected the allegations, describing them as false, misleading, and politically motivated. Speaking to the Daily Observer in a telephone interview on January 26, 2026, oh, this can be January 2026 because we haven't reached there yet. All right. I think it's should be 6. All right. But we'll see 26. But I'm quite sure the typographical error. So let's move on. She said she does not underestimate the challenges facing women and young people and denied ever misusing funds meant for vulnerable groups. Well, lastly, for the Daily Observer newspaper, my life is in danger. Lawyer alleges death threats by police commissioner in Zena Hill land dispute. We see Councillor Anthony T. Cole, former land administrator of the Zena Hill estate, speaking to the media at his Zena Hill community office in Painesville. Well, that's all the stories we can bring you this morning from the Front Page Africa newspaper. So let's recap for you, and then we go for our break to take word from our sponsor. And we'll come back. We'll take some stories to talk about on this first edition of the print news in the year 2026. All right. So this morning we started with the Front Page Africa, and these are stories we brought to you. The top stories: enhancing the nation's global profile. Minister Beslo Nyanti unveils Liberia's 2026 foreign policy drive as it takes UN Security Council seat. And the people have not received their fair share. Clergyman Cotto Brown rates Bwakaku administration at 70%, cites poverty and reconciliation challenges. And lastly, for top stories, you do not represent us. So Penon Fuad, that's Doe and Penon Fuad explored as Mami Doe accuses Grand Jita senator of prosecution, land grabs, and abuse of power. And then this other story, it says, as internet use surges, thousands of poor families are being scammed. A new bill will help, but police warn they still have few options to stop it. No solution yet. All right, they create pressure. They tell victims not to tell anyone. People receive links every day, scholarships, gives away, job offers. Many do not know how to verify them. If you don't have the skills to verify information, there is a likelihood you will fall prey Tower Johnson held campaigner against misinformation and disinformation. And lastly, for the front page Africa newspaper, Liberia and Ghana stand almost alone in region as U.S. travel ban hits neighbors. Experts cite acceptance of U.S. deportees and other strategic factors. Using Garcia as a bargaining chip is a question mark. And that does it for the front page Africa. The Daily Observer, government arrest charge street sellers in Monrovia. Save the Future project gets into full swing. MPA enters 12 million EU program to boost port safety and security. Ex-Foreign Minister Toga-Gawia McIntosh urges Liberia to be vocal and strategic at the United Nations Security Council, warns the country must not sit as a buffoon on the council. Diplomacy is about balance, he said. It is about knowing when to speak, when to consult, and how to protect your national interests. And LEC challenges headquarters closure after court temporary shutdown office of over US 309K unpaid debt on Tuesday. The back page, ex-VP Tiller and Bowie clarify claims of alleged misuse of $5 million in bond. And lastly, my life is in danger. Lawyer alleges death threats by police commissioner in Zina Hill land dispute. And that's all we can take. Let's go and take word from our sponsor. And when we come back, we draw you closer to our talking points. This is the program from the Print News, January 7, 2026.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to serve the sort of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hand for the right authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us. Bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a human target, and I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bring bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it, crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it, crimes for all of us.
Robbie, what you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Easy, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, some going deep and deeper. Put in toto ichiki.
Many thanks for rejoining us on the program from the Print News. And let's say a big thank you to our sponsors. Firstly, we want to say to Crime Stopper Liberia, thank you ever so much for the messages you continue to preach about violence in our country, that violence is not the way forward for us as a country. We have issues. Let's seek redress from the authorities responsible, but not to take the laws into our hands, because it's not the way forward for us as a country. All it does is that it leads us into chaos and confusion. So we as a country want to say a big thank you to Crime Stopper Liberia, headed by Old Man Sam Sion, for, telling us that we must do all we can in our homes, our communities, and the society at large, that we should minimize crimes because, it's not good for us as a country. And when we have issues, let's seek the law to get redress. That's the way forward. Also proud to be associated with the program from the Print News is country. Mayuba and Sons Incorporated is a household name when it comes to the petroleum business. They've been around for more than 20 years and still providing quality services to the people of Liberia. So those of you who are, looking for a place you want to get gasoline, somebody to be that supplier for you, well, I recommend Mayuba and Sons Incorporated. And last but not the least is Exeter's Best Price Store. They have 2 branches. One is on the Old Road, Smart Road Junction, and the head branch is down Gurley Street in Central Town. So those of you having that special occasion, they have all of the locally made products there. Beverages. Those of you who like the locally made beverages, they have it there. You throw in your party, you throw in your wedding reception, or you having, whatever occasion. Exeter's Best Price Store is that store for you. They have everything to suit that occasion. You having your little restaurant, you're running somewhere, and you need drinks for cheaper price, go there. And they also have a delivery service that can take your goods to your destination. So, folks, we are back. And, let me once again say Happy New Year to all of you. It's been a while. We've been away. We are back, and we are here to start the 2026 on the seventh day in the year. It's a good thing that God crossed us over, because some of the people that we started the year with 2025, some of them are still around, and some of them are nowhere to be found. But we were able that God crossed us over. It's not because of the bank account, or it is by God's grace we are here today. So every morning that when you wake up from bed, you see that as an opportunity given you. It's another chance given you. So I'm grateful that I can see the seventh day in the year 2026. So happy new year to all of you. Let's pray for the best in our country. It was good that the year 2025 ended peacefully. No, there were people who were left in tears. Some are still crying. There were people who, were just celebrating all through the year of good news, while some people were there, receiving bad news throughout the year 2025. But it's by God's grace we are here this morning. Folks, look, the government have to be very serious. This government under Joseph Boakai and Jeremiah Cohn, they have to be very, very serious. Look, when I saw this story about, children being arrested from the streets, I just saw it as a mere joke. Coming to work this morning, do you know how many kids that's supposed to be in school that are still selling in the marketplaces and on the streets? And these people are telling us they are arresting children, creating programs, giving loans and other things to their parents. This is a mere joke. On Ellen 12 years, that was one of the first things Ellen said when she was, elected president, that no child or children of school going age would be selling on the streets during school hours. We saw that happening for 12 years. Under George Weah administration, we saw that happening for 6 years. Look, we always love to speak truth to power. This government is telling us that they are getting kids of the school of school going age. It's a joke. And some of you listening to me right now, you know that it's a joke, because to where you are, you see kids selling. Go into the marketplaces. There are children still taking their blind parents around to beg. How do you stop that? You must create programs. You can't do these things without programs. If you don't want that child or that blind person, I'm sorry to say, visually impaired person, to tell that child to take he or she around for survival, you need to create programs. Go to the group of 77, see how destitute the people are. Go and see their living condition. Go and see for yourself. So if you don't create the programs to have these parents have something, to sustain themselves, they will always take those kids around to beg. And it's not a good thing for the children, because their future is in limbo. When they are supposed to be in school, they are around the streets begging. So at the end of the day, they will end up being a street child or a street person if that proper care is not given. So the people telling us that they are taking children from the streets, They're starting with Monserrato, and you have created no programs for that. How possible can that work? It's not going to be effective in the absence of programs. It's a good thing to have these kids in school. It's the government responsibility. When you create no programs, you got nothing to sustain these parents who are taking the kids around to beg. Some of them woke up this morning. Some of them woke up this morning. They haven't gotten anything into their stomach. They don't even have it to send their kids to school. So the little $5 they go around to beg for, at the end of the day, when they go home, they find something to eat. That's how they sustain themselves. And it's an everyday thing. So the government just jump on one money through the Ministry of Gender to say that they're going out there arresting children. They will find parents who will send their kids. What are you finding the parents for? Do you have any programs for those kids? Do you have any programs? How do they survive? This is a person that don't have good sight. They can't see. Some of them, that's how they survive, by taking those kids around to beg to have something to eat. So yes, it's a good thing. Talking to, yeah, that's fine. But no action. No programs in place. To go on the street this morning, go around and see how many kids are begging. See how many kids are selling. This thing is just a joke. Joseph Boakai and your people, then you already got to be serious. Because those kids' future are gradually being destroyed. A 10-year-old child, since birth, they have not sat in a classroom. They don't even know from A to Z. Through all their life, they just been on the street begging. From 1-year-old to 2-year-old, from 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, they just growing inside now. They're just growing inside. So they find so much happiness in begging than going to school because there's no programs. How can you dress a child in the morning and get them ready for school and they go into school on empty stomach? The school they go into, they don't even have feeding programs there for the kids. So how the government going to fight this? You think I just saying it? You think I just muff talk? I just sit out here today and say, oh, no children will go on the street and go say that what would stop them from selling? To stop them from selling, you must create a programs that was, help their families, will help their parents, will help their guardians, their caretakers. You need to create a programs. You need to create programs for them to help them so that those kids that will be taking them around will no longer have the strength to take them around because their parents now, they're doing something to survive. So you can, put the kids into school. But just the morning, what I saw, and when I read this story from the front page Africa last night, I said the government not serious. The government is not serious about this. You got 3-year-old, you got 4-year-old, you got 5 years old babies. For me, Wendell, to be alive, and my kids are selling on the street. Even when you send my child somewhere after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, where I can get mad. So who would even try that? When I know my kid's supposed to be inside the house. Who would try that to say, come go out there to go buy me something? Who the neighbor able to do that to my children? Or who in my house able to take my babies out there to go send them? Who able to do it? Then the whole government coming out to say it's a campaign to save the kids from street selling. How do you do it in the absence of programs, folks? It doesn't work that way. There should be a national emergency. Create opportunities for the parents, the guardians, the caretakers. If you start something like that, you start moving from counties to counties, then we say the government is doing something in the positive direction. But no programs, nothing. You know, people sit at home every day and the children take them around to beg. How do they survive? They will just end up dying. Because the man who got everything correct, he's struggling to survive. I'm talking about somebody who is visually impaired or, you know, a physical challenge. How do they survive? People living with physical disabilities, how do they survive? They depend on those kids to take them around to beg for, you know, handouts. So the government need to come down high if they really mean business. Create avenues for the parents so that they will not take those children around to beg. But you can get no program, nothing. You say you stop them. This is a serious joke, man. Folks, let's take a few calls on this, and then we'll leave here at 12:30. So tomorrow, I hope to have my co-host, Esther Daku. Esther will be here hopefully tomorrow. So, folks, those of you who are tuning in, you can now join the conversation. Call us on 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. All of our numbers here are active. 0886 500 104. The WhatsApp line is +231 86 500 104. And we also have the female line 0770 297 016. All right, the government says they have arrested or they are arresting children from street selling in Monrovia, and they have, you know, put in a lot of programs according to them, but we don't see those programs to empower the parents of those children. So let's take you as our first caller. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Your name and where you join us from?
Happy New Year to you, and if you don't have a family.
Wish you many happy returns. Let's hear your contribution.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the topic of culture. You know, sometimes the president, when he was campaigning, he said no children will sell on the street. And when he came to power, a lot of children were selling on the street. So when the opposition started to raise that issue, that this young man, I can remember when KOK have a show, that in Discord that the children are still selling on the street, and he played the president recording to the campaign. If the president is not living up to his responsibility, that was the time the Ministry of Gender came out and said that they want to take children on the street without even doing proper investigation or proper study that will be able to create or other means that those parents, those children who were on the street, that their parents will be somewhere to be, the government will be able to give them something. They get when one Sunday they say that they want to move the children from the street without putting any mechanism in the place. So because the opposition was so strong on them by saying that the president is not living up to their responsibility, that was the time they came in and said they want to take children on the street. Which of course, if you take children on the street and the parents don't have money, the parents don't have everything, they will still go back there. And right now, if you just go to Go to radar, see how many children begging people. They embarrass when for the day money in Jordan. The last time I was going, I only get 200 my pocket, my copy. They you were begging me, crying, oh, my uncle, I got nothing, my phone, I got nothing. I was full of 200 and Gary. I had to want to count. First year, so the government had to do something before you come out with policy. You should be able to put all my candidates in the place before you come out on the policy.
So true.
You want to impress people and say, oh, I want to come out with me. Now I got my phone. What you do? Thank you very much, Window.
Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, brother Winnow.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show.
Well, firstly, I would like to call my name. My name is Iba Koluba.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Koluba.
I'm calling you from Paco Island. Mr. Winnow.
Yes, sir.
You see, when we're talking, when you condemning, you should also call the good news. You don't just continue condemning one star. Liberia today, the record that we are achieved since 1961, we haven't got a record here. Went off track of the UN. Today, Liberia flag is up to the UN. Then in Africa, Liberia.
So what that got to do with the bread and butter issue in our country?
are coming. Please give me chance.
I'm not going to give you all the time because there are others on the line. You have a meaning. So you just need to be very brief.
Yeah, but you see, we have to be realistic.
So Liberia flag hanging at the United Nations is going to take the children from on the streets, right? It's going to create food opportunities for their parents, the visually impaired, the people who are living with physical disabilities. Is that what you're telling us?
In the first place, you have to get a good record on the international scene.
Yeah, man, I'm small, man. That international scene with E. We're talking about people going through tough time. You say international. Welcome to the show, yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Is this Patience?
Yeah, I didn't.
Same to you, Patience. It's good having you.
Sometimes we discussing the issue, they use people, they can want to so they can want to stop you. But I won't tell you, they go to school, FN, go and see, yeah, so the issue. Mr. Dine, you go and joking. You go and joking, Mr. Dine. Oh, you come and get it, yeah. What is to show? Nothing to show. You come here telling people that the children are selling the street, you come here and rest there for 150. You create job for the people. The 1 million job for, but you create job for the people. Mr. Nimne, are you getting me? They may play for a what? For me, my thing, you know what I want to do to that children, Mr. Nimne?
No.
Hey, you know, we got him up back that up.
I know, right?
They won't arrest the put you and put them somewhere. Thank you, yesterday, all that get messy. They won't keep putting you in there to be safe.
Oh, Patient, I didn't cut you off. You went off the line. I didn't cut you off. Let's talk to this person. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello? Hello, caller, are you there? This person, we're not hearing you, so let me take another person. Good afternoon.
Hey, Happy New Year. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Wish you many happy returns.
Yeah, Edmond, man. You know.
Edmond, welcome, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. We miss you, man.
Yeah, I had to take my break, my man.
That is settled, man. This is why in the labor center, you are allowed to do so, you know.
Yeah.
So it was good doing so, yeah. So, you know, same sense, man. You know, this is a serious evil story that you have brought. There's somebody telling you all about who see flare international contact. Even Iran that America got problem with, serious problem with. Iran have a representative at the General Assembly.
Exactly.
So what are you talking about, yeah? Again, so the guy has so door of a discussion, you know. This is a serious issue. Don't look at the disabled center. Look, we there from early time up to present. This is the time that I am seriously seeing disabled people on the street than any other time. I can say. For factory, taking on them, they are moving. It's not that they want to be there, but because of. But you know, the thing that will help the government is that if the government can settle down and rather think about parity, they focus for oppressing people. You know, you hear like other statements saying 1960. Why you sarcastic? If you want to do your development or improvement in the country based on what people have not done and you are doing it now, you are not going to get anywhere with that. You're not going to get anywhere. We are talking about you say you're going to move. How are you going to take the children off the street? How are you going to take the children out when the parents are not working? There's no way so that they can be able to allow the children to go to school. They are not working. I will be working. I am capacity. They allow my child to go on the street to find bread to bring it for me. You know what I mean? It's immediately. You know the economic difference that it calls for government to do so. What are the pay? How will you able to allocate in this physical budget the $1.2 billion that is in that budget that will allow you to take the children off the street? How will you put it? We are not seeing it there. But you know, the personal state of the nation address, these are some of the things that will be online in address that they are taking children on the street. They are doing this, they are doing that. But when you come, the reality is reflecting on the street. Look, and the government sit down and they think and they decide the state got 3 years to go. They can come up with something and start. They can impress people. That are not happy. Look at LEC now. It's not easy all now. 5 different times and going and coming, causing all our light bulb and our electronic sorry.
That's why every time LEC goes, you need to unplug all of your appliances, because when it comes back, it sometimes comes with faults, and it damages your appliances. So you have to unplug whenever LEC goes. Thank you.
So the government focus, man. When you can't come up with this kind of thing, it is intended for the government to re-strategize.
Thank you, Edmond.
Okay? It's not about impressing people. It's about thinking, coming with a policy. What can you do to take the children off? Is to start with the parents. When the parents are in power, you can make it. Thank you.
Okay, Edmond, thank you. Let me get done with the show. Let's bring Masisi, the female general, on the show. Masisi, good afternoon and happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. I missed your golden voice last year.
Oh yeah.
I missed your golden voice. Thank you. Thank you for the female there. The purpose defender women. Thank you, Papa.
Yeah, you're welcome. Amen. Amen.
You, I ask God to get that long life to do more.
Amen.
More and more for us.
Amen.
Nothing in there.
Amen.
The love will be between you. God will favor them. They are going in. Their coming shall be blessed. No segment will see their door. Issue in there. And if they have to zebra one for this platform, they God me to see children. And you will ask God. And God will tell you, I'm not ready for you. So with that, that be real. What is government one proof? What Joseph Boake one proof in this country to us? What is one proof? What they say they rushing? It's not rushing to your Boake 2 years, 3 years. What you do, I wanna show for the person we have said. If you show me one project in this country that you on your own, you break down for, I will resign. Then of course we are all over the place. Now you taking our children for the street, say you catching them to carry them where? When they're there, what you say now? What a program are there for them? We said it for people don't leave the street. I want for us to be in the school, not to be in the street selling to helping the color selling the market. But what a program! Like open nice for them that will take them from the street. With the people that can walk and see clear, will catching it. Ask some of the blind people. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People catching them. What I can see, we can go out of where put a blind. That in the children that children see they won't be in the street when they don't want to be in the street. It was an accident. It was the word of God or devil that made to be bad. Or the be people that when they in the street, baby, and then I had desire to be in the street.
Yep.
But yesterday you say your mother was, I know, of 14, working at 14 year woman, and today you keep the power. Nothing big for the people. Talking about you arrest children from the street. The last thing you say you're going to get money, I know compound money. It's still coming. It's still coming on the way we go protest. You're beating us. You're changing for children. You're people want to go protest. They want freedom of speech in the country. In your government, nobody can talk in your government now. When the people happens for them to speak out, they're scared to say it with them. We are not punish on them there. No freedom of speech. Nobody can be obviously and they score. But you must say that even there, they want to insult you, insult the CDC, then it happens with it. When you talk, they say, go say that. When you speak your mind, go say that. You don't talk about Waka.
Okay. Thank you. I'm telling you, man, that video is I don't know. Yeah, man. I don't understand why the police are the security in this country are so brutal. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Masisi. Thank you. Thank you, Masisi. All right, Masisi. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Nabate Mo. Masisi, let's talk to this person. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. You have to lower the volume of your radio.
My name is Abba Sharif, and
Sharif, let's hear you. Go ahead. You have a minute.
Really, I can feel bad when I hear Liberian discussing about our flag is flying all over the world. Do you know how many countries flag is over there and their family and their citizens is dying in poverty? Do you care to know? Sudan, Somalia, all countries and their flag over there, but their citizens is dying in hunger, poverty in their country. Yeah, our hospital, there is no medication, nothing. This is people going out of business because we are in the name of fixing road, breaking down our road there. Nothing is doing about it. They say our flag, we get flag over there. Getting the education is everything and doing the right thing. Like we got some people that they are educated, but they don't know nothing. And I didn't want to support in Nigeria. Yesterday they were there criticizing on George we are facing road, being hospital. They will hear hospital, but today the posting of flag, like a common flag, flying, we making no impact. What impact we are making in our security council? Look at the men that the men are representing when the Americans will go against America take decision, your final take decision, then you go against it, then who are you? Who are you? When they take somebody more than you, they took the arrest the president and carry him. Then you there to go against him. When you even able to feed your people, you even about 1 minute for the people they going against America.
Thank you, Habi. Thank you. Let's talk to you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You want to move away from the noise or you want me to cut you off? Which one?
Sorry.
Go ahead. What's your name and where you join us from? Go ahead.
You want to get children out of the street, but you don't have no policy, you don't have no system, you don't have no plan for the children, you don't want to take them from the street. And when that's what this, you can't sell the power saying people live, people to get on the kids to survive. When I look at the black people talking about going to go put them, then if I can't have any leader, what can I see from there? Don't look for the person who will be serious to make sure the children
Thank you. We take you as our last caller. This person, let's go home with you. Hello?
How do you do?
I'm fine. Quickly make your point. No time.
Yeah, the point I'm making, stop deceiving people.
Okay.
Just stop deceiving people, yeah?
All right, Papa. Thank you. Since you are leading them, continue leading them. All right, folks. I think that's all the time we've got to be with you on this edition of the pre-news. God's willing, we'll be back here tomorrow with another brand new presentation. Show. My name is Wendell Nimna, and Happy New Year to all of you once again.